in a world made entirely out of blocks where the sun and moon are both made out of cake. Steve, a simple villager, lives in a small village with his pig, Horny, but when the nearby village is destroyed by an enormous battle between creepers and zombies, he sets off to find his missing sister and along the way becomes a hero to all the villagers. Let's recap. After defeating the Ender Dragon, Steve and Alex prepare for their date by putting on some armor and grabbing their respective diamond swords. They head over to a cave nearby where diamonds can be found, and they intend to mine some of it up to craft some new tools. However, they soon come across an iron golem, which attacks them because Alex was holding a wooden pickaxe and Steve had previously punched it. They defeat it, but not before it throws a block at Steve, stunning him long enough for Alex to get scared and run away. Later that night, while Steve is having a nightmare about falling into a ravine, his sister Maggie sneaks into his room because she wants to go exploring during the day instead of doing chores. She gets into an argument with Steve, who doesn't want her to go exploring because she could die, but she ignores him and runs off. The next morning, Steve finds out that Maggie is gone and runs to tell Alex, who decides to help him look for her. As they reach the village square, they find a mysterious note that reads, "Go to the mines. Beware the creepers." They split up to search for Maggie, with Steve going into the mines and Alex looking around the surface. In the mines, Steve encounters a group of creepers, but he defeats them without too much difficulty. He then finds a portal to the Nether, grabs some glowstone to take back to the village, and returns home. On the way, he's attacked by a skeleton, but he fights it off and reaches the village only to find it completely destroyed and no sign of Alex or Maggie. As Steve is wandering through the ruined village, he hears a noise in the nearby forest and runs away. When he stops to catch his breath, he sees Alex sitting on a nearby log, and he rushes over to her. It turns out that she had been captured by a group of villagers who were planning to sacrifice her to the Wither, a powerful undead creature. Steve saves her just in time, but not before getting shot in the shoulder by one of the villagers. They continue on to find Maggie, who they believe is being held captive in the stronghold of the main villain. On the way, they grab some supplies from a nearby village, but it's revealed that one of the villagers has joined the enemy team. They make it to the stronghold and prepare for battle against the Enderman and his army of creepers. Steve takes the fight to the Enderman, and they engage in a fierce battle. Meanwhile, Alex distracts the creepers by running away from them and hiding behind blocks. Eventually, Steve manages to defeat the Enderman, but not before getting knocked into a portal to the end, a dimension full of floating islands and void. In the end, Steve finds an island with a chest on it and opens it to reveal the Totem of Undying, an item that can bring Steve back to life if he dies. Just then, the Ender Dragon appears and begins attacking Steve. The two fight until Steve pulls out his sword and stabs the dragon in the eye. This causes the dragon to retreat to its nest on another island. Steve finds another portal back to the overworld and returns home, where he finds out that Maggie had never been taken by the Enderman. After all, she had been hiding in the village the whole time and had only pretended to be kidnapped, so that Steve would go on an adventure with her. Steve is angry at first, but then realizes that she was only trying to spend more time with him. Suddenly, an earthquake strikes and Steve looks up to see the Wither approaching. He grabs his things and runs outside to face the monster. The Wither shoots a beam of lightning at Steve, but he dodges it and retaliates by punching the monster. The Wither retaliates by shooting 3 skulls at him, but Steve destroys them all. He continues to punch the Wither until it finally dies. The villagers cheer for Steve, but he is soon confronted by Alex, who is furious at him for lying to her about Maggie and wasting her time. Steve apologizes, but Alex says that she can't trust him anymore and walks away. Steve feels sad, but he knows that he has to move on. He looks up at the sky and sees the Wither's head floating above the clouds. It's revealed that the Wither had actually survived and is now planning to get revenge on Steve. Steve grabs his things and heads into the nearby forest. Just then, the Wither drops down and attacks him. Steve fights back, but the Wither is too strong and knocks him into a hole. Steve falls all the way down to the bottom of the hole and lands on a block of dirt. He quickly builds himself a wooden sword and shield and runs to safety. Meanwhile, the Wither flies off and returns to his lair. Steve gathers some wood and stone and begins building a house. Suddenly, the Wither appears and demands that Steve gives him all of his stuff. Steve refuses, so the Wither attacks him again. They fight, but the Wither is too strong and knocks Steve out. Wither drags Steve's unconscious body back to his lair and tosses him into a furnace. Steve wakes up and sees that he's trapped inside the furnace. He uses his wooden sword to break the bars and escapes. He runs away from Wither, who is slowly losing health, because magma blocks are dropping from the ceiling and damaging him. Steve reaches a dead end and prepares to fight, but Wither knocks him into another portal to the end. In the end, Steve finds another island and hides on it. Wither finds him and tries to attack, but Steve pulls out his sword and stabs Wither in the eye. This causes Wither to retreat back to his lair in the Nether. Steve finds a portal back to the overworld and returns to his house. He finds a note from Alex saying that she's gone to the village to check on things. He grabs his things and heads into the forest. He finds Alex and tells her that he was wrong about her. She admits that she was wrong about him, too, and they hug. Suddenly, the Wither appears and attacks them both. Steve and Alex fight back, but Wither is too strong and knocks them both out. They wake up and find themselves trapped inside the Wither's lair. Steve and Alex work together to defeat the Wither, and once they do, they grab the Wither's skull and place it on top of the highest mountain in the overworld. Back in the village, the villagers are celebrating their victory over the Wither. Steve and Alex stand on a hill overlooking the village, and they share a kiss. They then fly off on a dragon and soar through the skies. The villagers cheer as they watch Steve and Alex fly away. The camera pans up to show the Wither's skull floating above the clouds. And suddenly, lightning strikes it, bringing the movie to an explosive end. So there you have it, the epic conclusion to the Minecraft movie. I really hope you enjoyed this recap and review. If you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more amazing content. Also, let us know what other movies you'd like us to recap and review in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.